Welcome back to the Badass Broadcast where we keep it raw, real, and unapologetic as fuck. I am your host, favorite fire starter and nervous system regulator, the Queen Lady T. And as we continue our journey through the Queen Code series, this topic today wasn't even supposed to be a whole episode, but clearly it needed to be because people love to say that dating and dating apps are a piss pool. And yeah, they can feel a lot like that. But I know multiple people who have met real healthy relationships, even spouses, on dating apps. So the app isn't broken. The patterns are. And today we're talking about how you show up on these apps because that determines everything. Let's get into it.
Broadcast. It's a time step into the spotlight.
All right, so let's start with the energy you're bringing to the dating apps. So before you even make your profile, check your energy because you're not just uploading pictures, you're uploading your mindset. If you're coming in with bitterness, frustration, this is a waste of time energy, you already lost. You don't log on to a dating app and magically become healed. You bring your patterns with you. So if your internal dialogue is men ain't shit, women always play games, guess what you're about to experience? More of that. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're still entertaining. Your profile is either an invitation or warning sign. And I need y'all to really pay attention to these warning signs because it will save you a whole lot of unnecessary bullshit. I've been on dating apps for years, matched with hundreds of people, like literally hundreds. Is kind of ridiculous. And I've learned where to stop wasting my energy. Everybody does not get a shot. Hell, everybody does not deserve a shot, and that's okay. And I'm not talking about random chances on potential or a nice picture. I'm peeping red flags from the start because the earlier you catch it, the less you have to recover from later. So let's break down some of these profile red flags because a lot of y'all look straight over it like, oh, it's nothing. And a lot of y'all might even be doing it yourself. Red flags include things like, don't waste my time. No games, no liars. Oh, if you want to know anything, just ask. I don't even know what to put here. LOL. Or just an empty bio or negative energy dumps. Yeah, all red flags. Let's be clear. That's not mysterious. It's not attractive. And it's giving low effort and unresolved energy. So just in case I lost some of you right there, let me back up and break it down a little further. Example, profile says, don't match if you're going to play games. I'm tired of fake people. Now, you're probably thinking one of two things. You've read this and thought, oh, well, I'm not playing games. I'm real. I'm not fake. I'm not like that. So it's cool. Or this is on your profile and you're probably rolling your eyes at me thinking, well, it's true. Like, I don't have time for games and I don't like fake people. But my point is, you're not telling me who you are. You're telling me what hurt you. Then there's the classic, nobody reads this stuff anyway. So then why are you here if you already made up your mind of how everybody is? Now, here's an example of an aligned profile. I live a full life and still make space for connection that feels easy and real. Or I enjoy good conversation, laughter, and energy that doesn't feel forced. I value honesty, consistency, and people who actually know how to communicate. If you can show up as yourself and respect my time, we'll get along just fine. Now, notice the difference. How neatly that was put together, how positively that was put together, while still basically saying, I ain't got time for bullshit. Oh, and let me give you a real life example of why this is so important to not ignore and why it is such a red flag. I actually matched with a guy I had zero interest in because his profile had already turned me off. But I thought I would give him a few tips on his profile. Like, it was negative, aggressive, just stank ass energy. And I was being nice. So I was like, respectfully, I was like, hey, you might want to consider using less negative language in your profile. Maybe talk more about what you do want instead of what you don't. And when I tell you, this man lost his shit on me. Like, he told me that I was a milkshake away from being obese, and like, I mean, he started like, he went in full wounded inner child mode on my ass. And I'm just like, wow, he just like totally proved my point. That reaction, that was already in him. His profile wasn't lying. It was just a preview. His inner child jumped out immediately. And this is what people don't understand. You think you're hiding your energy. You're not. If your profile is full of don't waste my time, no games, don't ask me for money. You didn't write a profile, you wrote a trauma report. And people can feel that. You've got limited space and you're using it to broadcast what hurt you instead of what lights you up. Make it make sense. That doesn't say high standards. That says unhealed wounds still running the show. Because someone who is at peace with themselves, someone who knows their worth, they are not walking into a space that feels like emotional baggage before the first hello. Some of y'all are out here saying, if you want to know anything, just ask. Ask what exactly? You didn't give me anything to work with. That's not mysterious. That's not intriguing. That's lazy. You're basically saying, I want you to do all the work, getting to know me, while I sit back and contribute nothing. And let me tell you right now, that energy carries straight into the conversation. So yes, again, red flag. Because 9 times out of 10, if you ignore that red flag, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get into the conversation and you're going to ask questions, trying to engage, trying to feel the person out. And what you're going to get back is, yeah, nah, 3 years, LOL, no curiosity, no effort, no bounce back energy. Like me personally, I'll carry the conversation for a minute. I'll go back and forth a few times, but I promise you, I will stop responding. Because if you're not interested enough to engage, I'm not interested enough to chase. Oh, and let's not forget the ones that say, I don't even know what to put here. Like, what? You don't know what to say about yourself? That's not cute. That's not relatable. Like, that's a problem. And listen, maybe this is cool for, like, you know, the younger generation, like the, I don't know, 30 and under, the ones who still like Snapchatting and all that stuff. But if you are in your 30s or 40s or 50s and you talking about you don't know what to say about yourself on your profile, can we be so for real? You can't answer, who am I? What do I like? What kind of connection do I want? Literally 3 questions. Then what exactly are you even bringing to the dating space? So let's simplify it. If somebody you're genuinely attracted to lands on your profile, what do you want them to know? Not what you've been through, not who hurt you, not what you don't tolerate. Who are you? What do you enjoy? What lights you up? What kind of energy do you like being around? Are you dating casually, exploring, looking for something deeper? What makes you laugh? What do you value? This is not rocket science. It's self-awareness. And trust me, if somebody is lacking self-awareness, red flag. Now, if anything I'm saying about profiles is hitting a nerve, good. It's hitting a nerve for a reason. Pay attention. You're either ignoring red flags or you are the red flag. But awareness is everything. But also, you know, don't be rolling your eyes at me, because honestly, do what you want. I'm just here to let you know that you will get back what you put out. If your profile is negative, you will attract negative or you will attract nothing at all. Use your voice. Say something real because your profile should feel like an invitation into your energy, not a warning sign to proceed with caution. Speaking of caution, let me just throw this in there real quick. If you can't fill out a dating profile, you might not know yourself as well as you think you do. And dating without self-awareness is like handing a stranger the map to your life when you don't even know where you're going. Now, let's get into what happens after the match, because this is where people lose it. First off, introduce yourself. If you exchange numbers with someone and someone gives you their number and you text them, let them know who you are in the text. Do not assume they know this random number that's popping up on their phone. I promise you, if you just met them on a dating app, chances are you are not the only person texting them. So you might want to give a little bit more than hey or good morning, beautiful, because they probably got a ton of those already. And next, getting a number does not equal exclusivity. So let's just relax the ego for a moment. Getting a number does not mean you're the only one. You've been chosen. You're anything. You're in conversation. That's it. You're in conversation. That's it until further notice. And with all that being said, that brings me to the next point. Stop being dry. If your whole personality is LOL, that's not mysterious. That's boring as hell. And people will lose interest in that real quick. Also, effort has to go both ways. If one person is asking all the questions, carrying the energy, trying to keep things alive, and the other person is just responding, that connection is already dead. And now let's talk a little bit more about moving off the app like a grown adult. Because texting is not a connection. It's a preview. And let me tell you why this matters so much. I have someone close to me who I won't name who agreed to go on a date with someone from a dating app. They had been texting, everything seemed cool, and he shows up. This guy can't even speak English. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't even know how this was supposed to work, but let that sink in. Just let that sink in. No real connection, no ability to connect. Just straight confusion and awkwardness. All of that could have been avoided with one simple step: a phone call or a video chat. Because listen, anybody can type like anything. People get real bold behind a screen, as we see on social media all day, every day. They'll text you confidence they don't actually have, personality they don't actually carry, depth they can't actually hold in real life. But face to face, voice to voice, that's where things start slipping. And yeah, I get it. There are those who can lie smoothly. There are people who have mastered manipulation. But even that still requires your participation, because bullshitters know who they can bullshit. And let me say that again a little louder for those in the back. Bullshitters know exactly who they can bullshit. See, they are already testing early to see how many red flags you're going to ignore. Do you question things? Do you notice inconsistencies? Do you speak up, or do you just go along to keep the vibe? See, you're not just attracting manipulators. You're entertaining them past the first sign, which gives them the green light. And that's exactly why I'm sharing all of this, because my goal isn't to make you paranoid, and it's definitely not to shame anybody, but it's to make you aware so you can catch it early, so you can trust what you're picking up on, so you can outsmart the bullshitter before it ever becomes a situation you have to heal from. Don't skip steps just because you're excited. A 10-minute conversation can save you weeks, sometimes months, of wasted time and energy. And if you stay in text too long, you end up building a fantasy, not a connection. Now, I know at this point I've gotten a lot of side eyes, and that's okay. That's okay. Just remember, if you're triggered, ask yourself why. And before anybody tries to slick in the comments talking about, well, you've been on dating apps for years and you're still single, let me just stop you right there and remind you once again, I am single by choice. And there's a difference between not being chosen and not choosing what doesn't align. And I'm very clear on that. And in part 2 of this episode, I'm actually going to tell y'all all about one of the most amazing men I have ever met in my life, who I met on Facebook dating, not by luck, but by moving the exact way I'm telling you to move right now. So no, this isn't coming from someone who can't figure it out. This is coming from someone who learned how to navigate it differently. Because as the saying goes, you live and you learn. And if you haven't learned by now, here is your chance. So our queen code for this episode is, I pay attention early so I don't suffer later. And now you know how to show up on these apps, how to read profiles, how to communicate without wasting your energy. But all of that is just the beginning. Because once you step off the app and into real life, that's when everything gets real. So on our next Queen Code series episode, we're getting into actually going on dates, boundaries in real time, safety, and how people really reveal themselves face to face. Dating apps aren't a piss pool. They're a mirror. And most people don't like what they keep seeing because they haven't changed what they've been bringing. And now, if this episode hit, don't just sit on it. Like it, share it, subscribe, and send this to somebody who needs this wake-up call. And stay with me now because I'm putting y'all on game. The Queen Codes are putting y'all on game. And they're going to save you from a whole lot of unnecessary heartbreak, frustration, and straight up bullshit. And don't get it twisted, the Queen Codes aren't just for queens. They are very universal. Until next time, loves, remember, you are an unstoppable badass, worthy of everything your heart desires. Let's get it.
Queen energy, feel the heat when I walk in. Bow down.
If this episode spoke to your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it, send it to someone who needs a dose of badassery in their life. Want to be a guest on the show? Got a powerful story, message, or mission? Apply now at unstoppablebadass.me. If you're a seer, light worker, or spiritual badass who's done shrinking, step inside the fire and rise with us in Sacred Wildfire, my virtual queen circle. Feeling stuck or ready to break through? Book your free badass breakthrough session and let's uncover what's been holding you back. Clarity, power, momentum, all waiting on the other side. Ready to activate your healing gifts? Enroll in my Kundalini Reiki activation and attunement course. Step into or deepen your healer's journey with sacred energy work that transforms you from the inside out. Want to show some love? Donate or shop at buymeacoffee.com/The Queen Lady Tea because your support helps me keep lighting fires and dropping truth. You can find all these links and more in the show notes or at my website, sacredwildfire.com. Thank you so much for rocking with me, and I'll catch you on the next episode of the Badass Broadcast.
It's the best broadcast. It's the time, step into the spotlight, let yourself shine. Every word, every beat, your truth out loud. This is your kingdom. Stand up proud.